you.
Okay,
We can come up with one.
it's okay.
All right, we're going live now. Okay. Let me mute. Okay, it's muted, and I need to bring up, there's a delay, so I need to bring up Zoom so I'm not confused here. Okay. All right, we have 2 people watching, it looks like. Okay, so we are live. Yay! All right. Can you hear us, Ashley? Okay. All right. So hello, everyone. We are live streaming. Awesome. This is our maiden voyage, I tried to say, with the Galactic Goddesses live streaming channeling. So anyone who's here, thank you, thank you. I would like for us to start with introducing ourselves. Okay. So if let's go around the room and just let everyone know who we are, and maybe who we channel, what we do, that kind of thing, and then we'll get into channeling some messages, and we'll take questions after our channels once we get going. Okay. All right, Lisa, would you like to go first? I see you first on my screen.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Knowlton, and I go by Lisa Love Warrior. I always have to pause and laugh a little bit about that because my friend Ashley here helped me come up with that name pretty early on in the stages of me becoming this person. And my background is in yoga. I was a practitioner for about 25 years and taught for 20, but I was very in tune with sounds like an applause. Thank you, Lisa. I became much more in tune with the energy of emotions and the energy body. And so after a kind of traumatic experience for me, I ended up really coming into my own way of working with energy in my body and my emotions and my thoughts, actually. So the work that I do now is more geared towards, I'm getting more and more comfortable with the idea that I work really one-on-one with people. And so when people come to me, that's really when all the tools that I have come through. So it can be energy work, it can be movement, it can be sound, it can be long distance, it can be readings. But I do focus on the heart right now. The heart is a big element in what I work with people on. So I work with Love Warriors is really what they go by, and Lords of Light. I have influences from Pleiadians and Lemurians and Lyrans. Those are the 3 main ones that have come through with me pretty strongly and have helped me in this path, because it is a path that I know is not necessarily unique to me, but I do have a lot of unique words that are used and experiences that brought me to where I'm at. And we were talking before we came live on what we were going to channel today, and my guides, is what I am used to calling them, suggested that I talk about freedom from harm. So I'm just going to throw that out there and then see where that goes as we all get going. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Sharon, for hosting.
Of course. Thank you, Lisa. Kendra, I see you next. Do you mind introducing yourself, please?
Oh, hi, Sharon. Thank you so much for having us together today. This is a wonderful opportunity. My name is Kendra Jonas, and I channel a 5th dimensional being named Melody. She's been my spirit guide, actually, not only throughout this lifetime, but actually through many lifetimes. And I'm also a lifetime experiencer with ET contact. I've had that all my life. It's been a long journey to try to connect all the dots, put all the pieces together. And my life is kind of like a big disclosure project, I would say, because as I learn more, I feel like it's kind of like part of my purpose here is to try to share as much as I can with other people, so that other people who are starting to come into their full potential and to their DNA that's now being activated more than ever. I think that we're all kind of coming together now. We're finding our soulmates or our kin, our people that are like us, that, and we're finding out that we're linked to other star systems, that we have dormant DNA that hasn't quite fully been activated. And I think right now is a time where people are starting to notice that, there's something a little different about them, or that they have these abilities that they didn't realize they had that are starting to surface now. And so I'm here to be of service to others. I have a full clairaudient relationship with my spirit guide named Melody, who is a fifth dimensional being. And so for people who are ready, to kind of tap into their higher self or learn about what it is that they're here to do, or that full awakening process, Melody's, I see her as sort of like a translator or somebody who can link people to their higher self and to what it is that they're kind of seeking right now. So I'm excited to be here so that I can be open to whoever's here and has questions.
Thank you, Kendra. Galactic Ashley, do you mind introducing yourself, please?
Sure. Now I understand, Kendra, why your book is called The Link, because
Oh.
Melody considers herself a link.
So intuitive, that's right.
Yeah, it all makes sense. So thanks for having me on today. I'm really excited. Mahana is my Boston Terrier, and she is here, and so you might hear her during the channeling portions because she channels with me. But so my name is, I am Galactic Ashley, and I channel divine guidance for star seeds, connecting them to their star families and galactic lineages. I use light language frequencies and work with your cosmic connections to facilitate high frequency healing transmissions and encoded activations. I have a history and a background in teaching, and so one of my favorite things is that I offer these 10-week programs called Galactic Guided Intensives, and I'm able to merge my master's in fine art degree and my history in teaching to create these really awesome 10-week programs. And the next one actually starts on April 5th, and it's called the Light Language Activation and Healing Program. And this course helps metaphysical practitioners and those passionate about collaborating with the universe to embody purer states of consciousness. Learn to engage and integrate light language's healing frequencies into aspects of your daily living, metaphysical and healing practices, so that you can more easily stay in what I call your home frequency, so that you can hold highly coherent and resourceful states of being in the midst of duality and conflicting situations that often arise during embodied life. And it's a place where I believe that we grow courage and expand love. And a lot of the messages that I've been getting have really been based around the importance of integration. And I find that light language it's something that I use every single day, and it helps me integrate what I'm receiving sort of out here and bringing it in through my heart. And I work with a lot of different beings, and but primarily I think today I always worked with the dragon consciousness, and they identify themselves as being beyond the threshold of creation, and they always hold space for me. And the Arcturians, and then another collective called the Aeon Collective, and I have a feeling that those will be like the main three energies, at least for today, that are going to be coming through. But I basically love working with the galactic beings, and I love channeling, and I'm really happy to be here with Kendra and Lisa Love Warrior and you, Sharon. So thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Okay, so I'll introduce myself. My name is Sharon Sananda Kumara. For those who don't know me, I have a practice in the Portland area as a psychic medium, channel, teacher, student, speaker, and I do really fun stuff like this. And I get to meet so many great people. As far as channeling, I learned how I started channeling higher beings about 20 years ago when I started channeling my guide at that time. And I was going through what some people call a quickening. Actually, it was my guides that called it a quickening, and very intense time for me. And I began channeling ascended beings that came to me and worked with me at that time. And I sat in my room every night at 9 o'clock. It was my classroom, and these beings were around me, and I could see them and feel them. And I started channeling that way. And as I kept channeling and integrated my channeling abilities into my practice, I channel ascended masters also for clients, and we're all channels anyway, right? It's just a matter of channeling what we choose to channel. And what I've found that I channel a lot is the Pleiadian energies, the cetaceans, the whales and dolphins, and a lot of galactic beings as well. I also channel a being called White Cloud, who worked with me very intensely many years ago, who I remembered having a lifetime with in past lives. I was his daughter, and he was a Cherokee chief, or Apache chief, I'm sorry. And so anyway, I love channeling. I'm sure everyone here can attest that as we channel these higher beings, we feel the light that they bring and the love they bring to us and through us, and it's just amazing. I feel so much better after I channel. Not that I feel bad, but I just feel so much better when I'm channeling this way. And voice channeling is something that I really enjoy doing. And I normally don't know who's going to come through until we start channeling, although I have felt some beings coming through today, which I believe that the Pleiadian energies and the Syrian and cetaceans might come through today. So that's a little bit about me. Okay. All righty. So who among us would like to go first? Is there anyone feeling the energies or feeling ready to go? And this is the plan, as I interrupt myself. So what I thought we'd do is we each channel a message or whatever comes, something that comes through as for the world, right? Because this is going out to the world. And then while we're still in that space of channeling, if anyone who is watching has any questions, go ahead and type the questions, and one of us will field the questions. I can field the questions for the other 3 channels, and Lisa said that she would field the questions for me when I channel. So if you have anything, you're welcome to ask a question for the beings that come through as we're channeling. It's that's kind of what makes it fun, right? All right. All right. Does anyone feeling the energy to go first?
Do we want to set a quick little space together, maybe? And then the people that are watching can join in.
Sure. Sure. Good idea. All right. So all of us here, let's just take a moment to take some deep breaths to help us center. Relax, breathing in deeply now. And exhaling. Any tension, any stress, any worry. Another deep cleansing breath, breathing in deeply. And exhaling, letting go. Let's do that one more time. Deep cleansing breath. And exhaling, letting go. And just bringing our energies in close, allowing space for our beings to come close as well. And I'd like for us all to imagine a golden column of light, a column of golden light streaming down from above. We're bringing this golden column down around each of us and around this gathering tonight, today, surrounding us and entering at our crown, filling us with golden, cleansing, healing light, creating a safe, sacred space for this event today, and helping us all to be clear and concise channels. We also would like to call in the light beings, the galactic beings, the higher beings that would like to work with us today. We invite you in now with love and gratitude. Okay. Would anyone else like to add anything to this blessing?
You did beautifully, Sharon. I feel very connected. I feel very grounded and connected to Melody right now. Thanks for bringing us with our breath back into our 0 point.
Sure. Would you like to begin, Kendra? It's up to you.
Sure. I can just pull Melody in. Just be a second here. I'll bring her in, and then any questions that you guys have after she speaks, or the audience is more than welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yes, hello. This is Melody speaking with the Fifth Dimensional Oversoul Group. Welcome, welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to be of service to all of you. Yes, yes, many of you are called at this time to gather in groups, maybe small groups, sometimes larger groups, sometimes one-on-one groups. But what you will notice is that now more than ever, these times of gatherings are going to feel and be more significant to you than maybe other times in the past. And what I mean by that, by more significant, what I mean is that there is a resonance and a harmony that people are picking up on from subtle energies that are coming through the electromagnetic field, that are coming through to you not only by recognition in other people, but also in recognition of the Galactic Federation of Light. Those who are here, that many of you call your angelic guides, or those that you call your spirit guides, are also there during these moments when you are interacting with one another. They are there to help you recognize what the meaning and purpose of the gathering is all about, what the deeper meaning is. We are here now at this time to help you make these connections and make these recognitions. So for those of you who are here watching this video, maybe at a later time, or those of you who are here now live, you've been called here for a reason. There is no accident or are no accidents throughout your lives. All of you are chosen to be where you are, exactly as you are right now in this moment. There is no accidents. So by being here at this time, it is a welcoming, rejoiceful experience for us. As a collective, as speakers of your higher self, it is a joyful time for us, as well as it is a joyful time for you individually when you get those sparks of wisdom or those downloads that come through that are heightened by those moments of gathering together. So when you make those connections, when you make those, have those times where you are feeling the vibe, so to speak, or when you're feeling a recognition or a calling, so to speak, those are the times when your DNA is being activated and when you are learning things on a heightened level. So I say to all of you to pay attention to that, to welcome that, to know that this is the time in your timeline when this is happening more and more. So welcome everyone. And I am more than happy to answer any questions as questions come through. I'll open the floor for anyone that might have a question.
Okay, I don't see a question yet.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. Well, we can continue to talk longer, or we
Mhm.
can see if there's another person in the group here who might want to add a channel, another channel may wish to come through at this time.
Okay. Thank you, Melody. I'm feeling some energies coming in.
Excellent. Yes.
Okay. I'm sure we'll connect with you again in later on in the event here.
Mhm.
Hmm. 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 Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings. Greetings, greetings, my friends, our friends. We are overjoyed with this opportunity to speak with you today. For those present in this time and space of now, and for those who will be present in their time and space of now. We would introduce ourselves now. We are a collective, as you may gather, from the pronoun we. We work with this one, Sharon. We are her, what you might call higher counsel. We have many from the Pleiadian system. She knows many of us in her conscious awareness. We also have many from what you call the Sirius system, star system. She knows some from this system as well. And we have gathered also with some from the cetacean collective of a higher galaxy realm. This one is very familiar with many from this realm. These are who we gather today, as well as some of her teachers that hail, if you will, from the planet Venus. Some you may know as Jesus the Christ, Mary the Magdalene. We all gather today to bring through this channel, this beloved being, you know as Sharon, messages of love and light and support for you. We are aware of the earth moving into higher frequencies as we speak. This time, as you call it, on your planet is one of much change. This is why each one of you is here at this time. This is why you have chosen, each one of you have chosen to be here during these times. You may not remember in your waking life here on this planet. However, you were very excited to be here on this planet at this time. You are a very large part of this awakening, if you may, if you will allow us, quickening, if you will allow us to put terms on what is your planet is going through with her inhabitants, not only humans, but also the animal kingdom, the insect kingdom, the mineral kingdom, all of the kingdoms, the plant kingdoms also are and have been raising their frequencies. They are aware on their soul level of the changes that have come for this planet. This is a portal, if you will, for light and love streaming almost by the minute, we would say, onto your planet and to these dimensions, these constructs that the planet is taking care of now and moves through with each one of you. These constructs or matrices, if you will, are changing rapidly. This is why you may feel things happening very quickly in your life, changes, negative, if you will, things, perhaps experiences happening with you in your life, things coming up, shadows being cleansed, light shining on them for to the memories to be released with love and care and blessing. We ask each one of you to honor each one of your blessings of releasing that which no longer serves. This is the time, if you will, the opportunity to release what no longer serves, within and without. It is a time for great joy on your planet, great harmony, the time for harmony, the time for balance. This time is an This one is struggling a bit. A time for every being on this planet, human, animal, plant, mineral kingdom, all of the kingdoms, to connect even stronger with love and respect. Yes, yes. As you feel the light and do your work, inner work, you will notice that your life becomes easier, if you will. Things happen quickly that you ask for, as you ask for things in your life. They show up for you rather quickly. This is the result of your frequency tuning in with the higher frequencies that are being brought and anchored and activated on your planet and in your personal space. It is important to remember there is no right or wrong way to heal and release that which no longer serves. As long as each individual does this with love. Remember to not become attached, if you will, to any of what no longer serves, meaning as humans, we understand the resistance to perhaps want to let go of things that are comfortable, even though they no longer serve. Again, there is no right or wrong. We are here, your teachers, your guides, your helpers are in service to each one of you and your angelic beings, as well as the loved ones you have agreed for that are on just across the veil, if you will, ready for you to call on them to help you in any way they can. We thank our dear sister, Melody and Kendra, for their beautiful message. We would end this message now with great love and blessings. If our dear sister in the room here has any questions, we would be very grateful.
Thank you, Sharon. There are questions coming in. The first one is, well, a couple of things. There's a couple of general questions and a couple of personal questions. How do you want to approach that?
However you feel
Okay.
fit,
Okay.
Lisa, dear Lisa?
So the first one is, how rough is the transition to to the new earth likely to be?
Thank you for your beautiful question. Yes, this is a wonderful question. And we would say to you that rough depends on the individual. We would suggest that looking at this transition as simply a shift into closer to, if you will, your true and light self. You are still living a earth life. As you shift, the less resistance you may have, the individual may have, to healing and again releasing that which no longer serves, the easier the shift will be, is what we know to be true.
Okay. There's a woman named Denise who is asking for anyone to answer, but she says, can you speak to the big changes I am and will be stepping into as I grow? Thank you.
Yes, Denise, this is Melody speaking, feeling called to answer you, dear. Yes, you don't need to be afraid, dear Denise, because your guides are working with you and they will lead you to wherever you need to be in the moment. And the idea is just to trust the process, to trust that you are guided. And sometimes it helps to have like validation that you have that guidance. So my advice would be to ask anything you want to know. Don't be afraid to ask, or anything that you need. Many people hold back asking for what they need, and they do this with other people. They feel a resistance. They don't want to bother somebody or step on toes, so they don't ask for what they need. And we say this to you as your guides, to ask us as well for what it is that you need and what you want to know, because we wait on the sidelines sometimes for you to ask, because we don't want to step on your toes or your free will. We honor your free will beyond what many people understand as what free will is. But free will and allowing you to have that free will is the only way that you can grow in the levels that you desire to grow. So we wait, we step back many times and wait for you to come to us and ask for what it is that you want, what it is that you need. And when you do that, we are there. We are there waiting for the questions. We are there waiting to help bring you the knowledge. But we have to wait until you are ready to ask, so that we don't overwhelm you, so that we know that you really truly want the information. But it is all there for you, my dear. Your guides are right there waiting to answer anything you want to know, to guide you where you need to go. So just keep that relationship and the door open, and you will see exactly that we will be there to assist.
Okay. There's 2 more questions from one person named Susan. She wants to know what her guide's name is and how many lives has she lived, and was she murdered in one of them?
Dearest Susan, we are here to shine some light on your questions. We would wish to answer the second question first. What we see for you is you have lived, as you might call it, on this earth plane, 3,000 or more lifetimes. We see that you live many other lifetimes on other planetary systems, in other planetary systems, on planets. You have thousands of lifetimes there as well. Remember, dear, that you are multi-dimensional, and you also have many lifetimes happening at the same time, if you will, as you connect to your other parts of yourselves in your meditations. You will remember what a very wise soul you are. For a guide's name with your first question, you have many guides with you. They come to you for different areas of learning in your life and lifetimes. I am seeing the presence of one main guide with you now, a male guide. And I am hearing from him that you may call him Lazara. He is one who has been with you for many, many of your earth lifetimes.
So I have let the group know that we're going to hold off on questions temporarily. So Ashley will go next, and then I will.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
So we will identify ourselves as the dragon consciousness. We exist beyond the threshold of creation. And for this moment, we will be providing the container so that the Arcturians and the Aeon Collective may come through and bring in integration codes for those that are listening to this in this infinite now moment. These would be light codes and frequencies that we believe to be beneficial at this time. For those of you that are seeking guidance on transitioning through human to new human, as Gaia is also shifting to new earth, and for those of you that are just trying to integrate divine guidance into your quote-unquote reality. So if you will just take a deep breath in. We are the Arcturians and the Aeon Collective. We will be bringing through this light language transmission as one. hatya. Anu hatya la nahun yala hushin yala dauman. Anyala hataya hun yala hataya humbashan yala yachanda. Anyala hataya humbashum bashum bashum. Anyala hataya hungashun manyalahan. Anyalahan. Anyala humashum banyala hataya hunda shu anyala hataya hunga hataya hunda. Anyalata humba hunyala hataya nashinyala tia hunda 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 hunda. Hulla hishapetjala nahita nahan. Alayna hui ahan yalahan yalahan yalahan. Inyala nahutaya shumanyala taya hunda. Anyalahan yalahan yalahan yalahumba shumahan yalashia nahita. Hulla hishan yalata umahan yalatea hanashun yalahan 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 yalahuashuman yalahataya. Hunyala nahataya shuman yalahataya ahanda handa shuman yahanya tiata umahan yalataya hunganyash nyatiala umahanda. Anyala wanashnyala na unyala shnyala hunyala nahietaya toshunya. Hunyalataya handa lahanyala handa handa shum. Inyala na unyala na unyala na unyala na yahun yalahum yalahum. Hunyu. We are so very honored to be here at this time. And we understand that as the earth is transitioning and shifting into her new earth phase, we wish to remind you that all iterations of earth are always existing in this infinite moment, as is all of your own soul's aspect. And what is happening right now, or what many of you are feeling and perceiving, we wish for you to always hold hope in your heart, to grow courage and to expand in love, the love that you already are. We wish to remind you that although humans feel love as a feeling, that unconditional love is ingrained in your cellular structure and it is a part of you. So even if you are experiencing pain or you are having difficulties with letting go of old belief systems, we ask for you to invite more love into your frequency, to bring in the frequency of truth, and to ask for purity of motivation. For we believe and understand that all of you are divine, self-mastered, sovereign, and free. And we bring up freedom because it means to be free from the influence of others. And this is the most important thing that we are perceiving at this time, because many of you are finding that within your individual collectives or within your groups or within your families, specifically with what has been happening within the last year and a half, there have been many polarities or many divisions that have even been splitting within the metaphysical community, within families. And we wish for you to not make decisions on how you view other people are viewing you, but for you to understand that when you act and when you take inspirited action based on your desires, based on what is best for you in the moment and what is best for all, but after first honoring yourself and not deciding out of fear that this is the best course of inspirited action, and we understand that this is terrifying to many of you. But to continue to hold hope and to do your best to be in the infinite now and to work with your subconscious, to heal and to remember that you are the technology that you have been waiting for. It is within you. And to respond to the question of somebody who asked if it will be rough, we suggest that whenever you have an experience, to do your best to be in the moment with the experience and to refrain from labeling experiences in polarizing terms. Because oftentimes once you label something as one thing, then it can only ever be that one thing. Rather than working through it, of course, if you have an experience and it feels challenging and it was not fun, you can express those emotions, for we also believe that expression over repression is best. Remembering that as you shift into the new human, as you become more crystalline, As your physical structure remains a physical structure, but it becomes less dense, that it will be important to be able to perceive your experiences, even the challenging ones, even the painful ones, and to be able to garnish, what can I learn from this? Why did I draw in this experience? And we do not mean that you are a victim. We do not mean that you are to blame, but that you are a powerful being that is being asked to live in your authentic self. Many of you are so close to this. We see you sort of stepping into the circle and almost standing in it and opening it, but there is much tentativeness because you are afraid of what you will lose, but you do not yet understand of how much you have to gain if you can just give yourself permission to let go. The reason why humans have a mental body and an emotional body is because these two are not in balance. But the new human asks you to merge the mental and the emotional bodies. This means that you are able to function with the mind and the heart in one space, in one togetherness where you are the higher mind. It is important to remember that the heart receives information first. The heart tells the mind, the heart tells the brain, and then the neurology happens. But it is the heart that sends and receives messages, and it is your most powerful piece of technology. Your physical structures were co-created by you and Gaia. And to be a part of that and to receive these integration codes, to bring your multidimensional aspects through your heart space, anchors in your soul's legacy and feeds this planet and shifts timelines, adjusts grids. You do not have to save the earth. You also will not be saved, for you are the creator and the created ones. You are the God and the goddess, and the goddess does not need to be saved, for you can honor yourself. And when you act as your authentic, true self, then others on an energetic level will understand that they can do the same. You begin to adjust and you begin to shift the morphogenetic fields. You begin to shift the fields of consciousness within the human consciousness. And as these shifts, then the grids become stronger, and then the new earth becomes more easily accessible. And what we mean by this is that there are more people willing to be in flow. And what we hope most for you, and just so that you know, we have been seeing new human precursor cells. There has been precursor cells that we have seen in many individuals lately that are holding this precursor cell that will help to transmute through the physical structure. But we understand one thing, that the physical body, it can experience difficulties during this, and it might not feel comfortable within the physical structure, remembering that your body is physically transmuting. It is becoming less dense. So there is a lot of energy coming onto the planet right now. There are also many pulses pulsating through the human collective, a lot of emotional pulses that are pulsating through. So to honor yourself and give yourself time and space, honor your physical structure because it needs love, and for many of you it needs rest. Allow yourself to follow the guidance of your body's wisdom, because your body is connected. We wish to remind you that there is one being that has never, ever, ever abandoned you in this incarnation, and that is your physical body, has been there with you through every single experience that you have had in this lifetime. And beyond that, it has received downloads within your cellular structure of every lifetime that you have, will, and are currently living. And you can always work with these energies, and that you are never alone. And we honor all of you for being present at this time. And we ask that you hold hope, that you grow courage, and that you expand love. And with that, we will say thank you, thank you, thank you, and we love you, we love you, we love you.
Thank you, Ashley. Do you want to answer a question or two? Okay. I do have a question here from William Smith. He says, I believe I have guides, yet do not see them. How can I get in better contact with them and better alignment overall?
I don't know if you froze or I froze, but I
Did
didn't
I?
hear anything.
Oh, okay. Kendra, did you hear the question?
Yeah, I did. I thought
Okay.
you were asking it for Galactic Ashley, and I tried.
Well,
So,
yeah, I was, but whoever
Yeah,
wants to
you
answer
can go ahead.
can. Okay. Okay. Kendra, did you hear the question? Are you
um,
still in tuned
no, I can
with
go back
Melody?
to trance and bring her back in. I thought
Okay.
what was happening was Galactic Ashley and Lisa. Lisa was going to introduce herself or channel a message,
Mhm.
and then they were going to ask questions. But I thought that question was specifically for Ashley.
It was just a question that was in the chat. So whoever wants to answer it is welcome to answer it. Ashley, I'll repeat the question.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can
now
you
I
hear me
can.
now?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. William asked, I believe I have guides yet do not see them. How can I get in better contact with them and better alignment overall?
We would suggest that you continue doing what you are doing, and the most important thing to do is to continue asking and to continue conversing and to trust yourself and to release expectation. Oftentimes, we find that people expect to receive communication in a certain way, and what we believe is that each individual is wired in their own divine way, and they receive information differently. And so, to allow yourself to just be open to receive and to work with your beings. If it feels overwhelming because it feels like there are multiple beings, you may ask for one or the collective that is working with you to step forward so that you can begin to identify their energy signatures. And we believe that doing this will allow you to relax more, which then opens your channels more to receive and to also trust what it is that you are receiving and to not doubt yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Lisa, are you ready to channel? We have another question we'll save for Lisa. Others might have questions as we go. Okay. Thank you, Ashley. That was beautiful.
Yes. Mm. I'd like to ask that we all take a moment to readjust your sitting position. Those of you who are watching live with us today, just check for a moment to see how your breathing posture is. Your breathing posture is necessary for your heart space to be open to the flow of what we call Shri and Prana, the pranic system within the body. These open channels are necessary as we breathe more life into the systems that have been talked about and discussed by these beautiful women, beautiful channels who have provided such unique and individualized information. And this is appropriate for all of you as well, as you all discover the ways that you provide information to your system, your mind, and the people who are in your lives. Reaccommodating and readjusting to the systems is a very unique process. The individuals on this stage with us today have come to find their ways of becoming more free from the voices of other people who have, I'm gesturing a lot here, so you might see what I'm doing as people who have retuned, making up words, retuned us in ways that reinforce our ability to become free of the tethers of other people's instigations and reformants. The purpose of this in our history books at this time is to reevaluate the ways we have become anomalies of today. We are coming forward with a new wave of information. This new wave of information information is in regard to the love wave that is readjusting in all of us and in our planet and universe at this time. This readjustment involves a courageous and brave morphing of your bodies and your minds. Your mind is appropriately fighting for ways to keep you hindered and pulling you back in these past periods. It is appropriate that we throw ourselves upward and forward and fight for our way upward and forward. Sometimes this fight appears to be inappropriate. It is not inappropriate. The emotions that were brought up earlier and allowing emotions up in these ways is part of the process of becoming free from harm. The past that we have experienced so long and that has been prolonging our period of being able to adjust to the frequencies that are rising in our consciousness right now and at this time are meant for us to be catapulted forward and for us to disengage, detach, transform, and allow the morphing process to occur, no matter what it looks like, no matter what the outcome is that happens outside of us, irregardless of the morphing and transformations that are happening with the people that are around us and the world above and below us. We are freedom fighters. We have come to help those of you who are freedom fighters to fight for your freedom. This freedom is in tune with and in good timing with what has been discussed so far. Reorganizing yourselves, your lives, your structural system is going to be disorganizing at first. The disorganization is meant to throw us off kilter in order to bring us back into a fine tunement or attunement. This is the natural process of the nature of the forces in our world and in you as a part of this world. We are fortunate to be here with Lisa at this time, for she is an individual who has discussed this with us tremendously and appropriately has been extremely frustrated with wanting answers and not being given the answers directly and fully, because it is about the experience of freeing yourself through your personal experiences in your personal self and within the personal relationships and dynamics of your life. Believe in this. Believe in the fine tuning as a readjusting. When we tune a radio stereo, there is a lot of static that happens before we can get to that fine place where a clear sound, a clear voice, your own voice comes through. And to believe in this fine attunement and retuning of these forces as part of the process. Forgiveness is the answer to this process when we are feeling so thrown off and out of kilter with what we think is supposed to be fine tuning. Recreating a profession of love requires forgiveness, forgiving yourselves for the readjustments and the bearing of nature that is coming through us. The bearing of our hearts. And these professions of love, readjusting the way that we think and see what love truly provides for us. Love provides challenges for us. Love provides instances that will create a trauma at times that will require that we reach higher, that we call for more love, to come to this planet and come into this world through us and through the calling of it and asking for it. Listen carefully to yourself, to your higher self, to your beings who are here to appropriate what it is necessary, what is necessary in your life at this time to provide you with more courage, more bravery to be free. We've provided you with enough information for now, and we are free to provide you with more with individual questions as is requested. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Lisa, and your team. We do have another question here. This is from William again. Second part of his question. What are the best practices for spiritual/psychic development?
My beings are saying we free you from this question. But of course, if there's things in addition, providing you with answers to this will provide you with parameters. The spiritual quest up until now has created parameters, and we are asking for a recourse in the natural processes of our individual nature to provide those appropriate for you. It is a very personal process, this spiritual, natural nature of being in the human form. Ask for more love and ask for the right moments for you to be paying attention to what it is that is giving you the most breath, the most bravery, and go for it.
Would anyone else like to add to the question? Thank you, Lisa, and your team.
We can add something briefly. It is important to understand that, or to remember, that there are so many beings that have been birthed into this planet that come from many star nations that come across the universe that have ancient and both future experiences simultaneously. During this transition time, what is happening is that there is an opening for those to step forward to create new ways of healing. So similar to what Lisa Love Warrior said and her freedom fighters, we are in agreement in that giving yourself permission to desire and to find out what brings you joy will bring you into the fastest and most efficient way to align with how you are uniquely and individually designed. And we find that when you are able to start accessing these things and to bring joy, specifically we suggest bringing joy to the process. For it is within the process that you are always in, for there is never a destination. And when you bring yourself joy, are in the moment of the process and give yourself permission to explore, you will be limitless. You will move beyond boundaries and perceived limitations. And we believe that this is the best way to come into contact with your divine blueprint, with your soul's gifts. And as you expand and as your consciousness expands, you will be able to tune into, receive more information from those multidimensional aspects of yourself that are seeking to align with you. And are wishing to come in through your heart field so that you can activate the divine DNA that is innate within the human, but that has just gone to sleep, is one perspective to look at it. So with that, thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. So we have one more question here. This is from Susan. I hope that was helpful, William. Okay, I'm sure it was. Susan's question is, will I lose my eyesight completely?
Hello, Susan. This is Melody speaking. Yes, wonderful questions and wonderful concerns. Many people have worries and things of the future, concerns about health, concerns about finances, concerns about so many things. And that is such a sensitive question, and one that I want to mention, that I want to bring about a situation where there are people on the planet who have experienced many health tragedies, as you might define them, many things where they were put into situations that they never thought that they could come out of. For example, people that have had strokes have had to relearn to walk again, and people that have had, for instance, a car accident, didn't think they would live and then survived. So the reason I'm saying these things to you is because there are so many uncertainties in life and so many things that at one point in one's perspective that people call those things tragedies, misfortunes, health situations that people fear that could happen to them or their loved ones. However, in all of these situations and all of these health crises, as you might call them, there is huge, and I can't say this loud enough, there is huge transformation that comes from every single health type of situation that people experience. And the whole purpose of the reason for the incarnation on the earthly planet is evolution. There is no really other reason outside of that, other than for you all to come to the planet for a very short time in your soul's existence and to experience a whole variety of experiences, a whole variety of things, and many things that you would call things that are difficult. Health crisis, for example, that come and go throughout one's life. But every time something comes along like this, people find strength and love and unconditional love in ways that they never would have experienced without these situations that come about. The soul is here to learn. The soul comes to earth to learn and grow and expand. And you, Susan, are an infinite being of light. That is the true essence of who you are. You are so much more than a physical body. And many times, sometimes people experience a loss of sight so that they can gain vision with their third eye or in another way that they wouldn't be able to gain without having had that type of experience. So in reality, I cannot actually answer your direct question as far as will you lose your sight completely, because this is a soul choice. You always have free will, and you always are the one who gets to decide what and to what degree you will experience something. But the message that I want to give you is that whatever you choose, your higher self chooses, we should say, because you are more than just a physical body having this third dimensional experience. You have a higher self that already knows exactly what you came here to experience, and the huge growth that comes from everything that's ever happened to you. And it happens because you are a co-creator in this process. And so many people want to experience something beyond the third dimension. They want to experience something beyond just having physical sight, but rather to strengthen the eyes of your soul or your third eye, or your ability to see into other dimensions does not require physical eyes to do those things, you see? So there's a gift. There's a gift in every experience that you have and everything that comes along your path. and just know that there is a deeper meaning behind it all. And my apologies, there is a little bit of distractions with lawnmowers and things going on in the background, but hopefully you can hear the message that I wanted to give. And I hope that gives you some relief or some deeper insight into why these things happen to people, and that everything is in control. Everything is going to be okay because you are a co-creator in your experience. And I hope that this helps. Blessings to you, Susan.
Thank you, Kendra. I do feel some energies coming through that would also like to just touch on quickly on your question, Susan. We would like to send some light and love your way, Susan. We would ask that perhaps you would consider, sweet Susan, to change your perspective, if you will, on seeing and knowing that you are whole. Your eyesight is whole. You are a whole and healed, a whole and new being of source, the all that is, God. You do not have any lack. And once you remember, and everyone remembers, that there is no lack, your physical body reacts and takes on, if you will, more light slash love, love slash light, and whatever situation creates the perception of lack or possibility of lack of sight is transformed. We would also like to touch on the information that sometimes the beings that you work with, your guides and any other beings, teachers, sometimes are not allowed, if you will, to answer for you because of, as our dear sisters Melody and Kendra spoke to, because of the journey, the choices that you have made in this lifetime and many others. But we would, if we may use this word, our channel did not resonate with this word, we would ask that you do change, perhaps, and consider changing your outlook on any health issues, this one as well as any other that are perceived by you now in this physical form as whole. See this, know this, feel this. You are a whole being. And we send this message with infinite love and gratitude. Okay. Looks like that is all our questions. Thank you, everyone. Does anyone want to have any parting messages or blessings or gratitude messages before we close?
I can say something, I think, pretty quickly.
Sure.
This is partially related to the last question, but it is also about a larger question, or what we perceive to be happening on your planet at this time. Again, we are the Dragon Consciousness that is providing the container for the Aeon Collective and the Arcturians to come through, and we are speaking as one in this infinite now moment. We understand that many people are experiencing health concerns. We would like to remind people that, especially when we are looking at COVID and the COVID vaccine or other health crises, it is important to remember that there is no blame. There is no one's fault. So if you are experiencing a personal health crisis with your eyes or with COVID, you have done nothing wrong. Nothing is happening to you, but something is happening. So we wish to remind many of you that when you come in and you are experiencing challenges, that these challenges will always align with your divine blueprint, what you came here to do. Oftentimes the gateway to one's ascension is through a terrifying pathway. So we are not saying that pain equals ascension, but oftentimes you must walk through darkness. And when you walk through this darkness, what is occurring is that you are being asked to look at where you carry and hold frequencies of fear within your energy field. Some of this has been programmed into you from other lifetimes, from epigenetics, from family histories, from your own experience in this lifetime. But it is very, very important to look at where you are holding frequencies of fear, because what is happening is oftentimes the human perceives danger rather than understanding that it is fear, and there is a discernment process. Danger is when something is physically happening to you and you are the victim in the moment that the trauma is occurring. But after that, you are holding frequencies of fear because you are no longer in danger in the moment once the moment has passed. And so we mentioned COVID earlier, and we just wish to say that COVID was birthed from the entire human collective. So the human collective decided that COVID was needed. The vaccine was chosen as a solution to the COVID, but that these two health things, whether it's a vaccine or COVID, they carry that within them their own consciousness. So this is what we wish for people to understand. So to understand that the vaccine, while it was created in order to solve or for health, also know that it was also created for money, that it was also created for control, meaning there are many, many reasons beyond maybe what you believe that the vaccine was created. Each time you interact with the vaccine or with that energy field, each time you have feelings about COVID, you are contributing to that energy field. So the more that you hate, or the more that you are angry, or the more that you contribute to these different consciousness fields, is how you will fuel or how you will feed them. So there are many divisions that are happening versus anti this or anti that, or don't do this or don't do that. And we just ask you each to choose what you feel is best for you in the moment, not out of fear or out of being controlled. And for those of you that are empaths, to allow yourself to open and to feel what it is that you are feeling. And so when you are making a decision about whether or not a vaccine is right for you, to make sure that you are detaching from the consciousness field that is the COVID vaccine, from the consciousness field that is COVID, from the consciousness field that is the government, from the consciousness field, so that you understand that what is happening sometimes is that you are giving your sovereignty away to something outside of yourself, so that something outside of you heals you, or that something outside of you protects you, or that something outside of you saves you. This goes beyond COVID, but it goes with everything. And so we just ask you all to find within yourself your strength and to do what you believe is best for you, and you honor your desires, that we believe in you, and choosing with a sovereign heart will never lead you wrong. And so with that, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we love you. And we just wish to give gratitude for the other beings that are present, and for the other women that are present, and for Sharon for holding this space and this container for all of us.
Thank you, Ashley, and your team. Would anyone else like to bring any parting messages?
Yes. Thank you, Ashley, for that. That was helpful for me as well. Part of this message, I'm going to start with just my own practice of learning how to love what is. Yes, it's what I would say is a common suggestion. How do we do that, though? At times, loving is coalesces with traumas that provide us with the necessary means to elaborate on love, being loving, as Ashley said, not hating on something that we might disagree with or are in our minds in disharmony with. The more love grows inside of you, the more the love that you discover within your own hearts and your minds, the more this energy frequency passes through all the frequencies that are not of love. They fall away. This is in accordance with the laws of love. Perhaps this message requires that we encourage more courage to believe that love comes with difficulties in this life, in these lifetimes. As I love the pain in my shoulders, as I love the pain that comes from the disorienting thoughts that I may have, love combines with these disorienting and uncomfortable patterns and parameters. And love provides ways for the transmission and the transmutation of what is not as thoroughly love to become more free. Try to believe in the sweetness of the sound of your own voice as a way to provide you with the nurturing sound of the natural forces of nature that combine with other natural forces of nature. The eruptions, the heavy winds, the depths of water that move us. Morph your minds into the believing state of trusting and freeing your throats, freeing your hearts up through the throat, so that the heart reverberation in your body flows freely throughout all of your own personal cells, especially into the mind and the neurological state, the brain waves that we are permitting and emitting. Free your throats from the lifetimes of traumas. making adjustments with sound, song, laughter, courage to believe in your own voice as a way to believe in yourself as loving beings, knowing that your vibration of who you are and the sound of who you are that comes through not just the reverberation of the sound of the voice, but it comes through the reverberation of the sound waves through your hair, your arms, your toes, the skin. Those of us who situate ourselves in ways to try to believe that we are free from this, but it rests on the surface. Allow it to come through you. Believe in the trustworthiness of your own presence in this world and rise freely. Hold the challenges as if they were a gift given to you through the loving wavelengths that again will accommodate us for that which is necessary to provide us with more love. I'm just hearing namaste to the Wolverines and to all of those who have joined for these messages today. Thank you for your courage. Thank you, Sharon.
Of course. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, and we're going to have to wrap it up. So, Kendra, thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I'm dealing with a lawnmower going back and forth, so I have to keep muting.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you have a real quick party message? Because we need to wrap it up here.
Yeah. Well, I can just say this without having to go into channeling melody just really quick. One thing that my ETs and guides and melody has taught me is that, well, we're light beings and we thrive in light, just like all living things, plants, animals, we all feel better when we're out in sunlight. And even if it's like a cloudy day and we can't get outside in that sunlight, I was taught that we have these receptors in our brain for light. And so even if we just visualize like this ball, this beautiful bright white light or golden light or whatever color you want to use, and you just visualize it going in through your crown chakra and filling you in your crown, it dissipates throughout your body. And you cannot stay in a bad mood or in a fearful state when you do this. It's impossible. Like, it neutralizes negative thought forms, negative self-talk. And I've done this myself. Like, if I get depressed because this COVID thing is stressful, no matter, what side of the fence you're on, whether you believe in the vaccines or you fear the vaccines, whether you fear COVID or you think it's a hoax, whatever, wherever you are with it, we all have fear from this that's surfacing. So this meditation, doing this, really helps fill the brain with light and releases fear. And then we can make better decisions. When we're afraid, we don't make the best decisions. And everything you guys all said, I mean, it's just like, I learned so much from all you guys. This was a wonderful gathering and channeling. You guys are all so talented, and everybody comes from a different perspective or has different guides. So we got to experience different vibrations, and wow, I felt like I was all over, the galaxy today. So it was great. Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you. And I agree with you. Yeah, totally. I mean, I learned so much too. And I always learn when I gather with people, and it was a high. So thank you, everyone who's watching and who will be watching. And remember that all of us are practitioners. If you feel called to contact any of us for some to work with, and I will have your your information, everyone's information is below, will be below. So again, thank you. I hope it was helpful. If you liked it, and I have to say this because it's YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that stuff, you know, the notifications, whatever, all that. But, you know, it'd be nice if you let us know that you like it by hitting the like button. So, and we will be doing this again. Thank you, everyone. Mwah. Okay. And we're out.